Hello, welcome to this music arts ranking video, and in it I will be presenting part 2 of my ranking or listing of the Marvel movies. There'll be a part 3 to follow this, during which I will finish off the reviews. But to start with, I'd just like to mention the one of the movies that I mentioned last time, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, in which the epic battle against Hydra comes to an epic conclusion. This character, having to face the destruction of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the re-emergence of Hydra, genocidal Hydra, was also to battle his own boyhood friend Bucky Barnes, who has been conditioned and trained as an assassin, the eponymous Winter Soldier. A huge action movie pushing the boundaries further than ever before. The story also includes a Black Widow as a central character, played by the beautiful Scarlett Johansson, of course, and also introduces a character of the Falcon, a flying superhero, ex-military, and a new friend of Cap's. The main themes are friendship and loyalty, and Cap and his friends utterly destroy Hydra. Excuse me. The next movie is The Wolverine. This classic movie, similar film to the Captain America one, Winter Soldier, features the Wolverine, one of the most popular of the X-Men characters, taking up the story of Wolverine from his adventures in the East, where he saves the soldier at Nagasaki, and taking the story then to his further adventures in the East, where he meets the soldier who's now an old man, is in his old age, and who tries to steal Wolverine's powers. An action-packed adventure, again, like the Captain America one, with some gorgeous oriental women and colourful cinematic expositions of Japan. There's ceremonies and costume and cities and bullet trains, all sorts of wonderful things. Like the Captain America film again, to call it a well-paced and exciting thriller is an understatement. I love the female characters in this. They're exactly like women I have known, mostly at or in university. As for Wolverine, he was me in action, fighting with metal claws rather. They're adamantine claws, of course. I was an immortal hero. I'm one of the X-Men. Which leads me to the X-Men movie, Days of Future Past. This action-packed, timey-wimey sci-fi story of the X-Men, in which Professor Xavier and Magneto recruit Wolverine to be sent back into the past to change the timeline and prevent the events that led to their present dilemma. He succeeds with the help of earlier X-Men, eradicating the present, which raises interesting questions about time travel. There'll be more time travel stories in future Marvel films, which I'll mention later. I've seen the Dark Phoenix and the Apocalypse films. They don't quite meet my criteria. Dark Phoenix is rather plodding and dark, as is suggested by the title. It's a bit plodding. and a bit short on character and dialogue. The Apocalypse film suffers from having a really dull character, central character in Apocalypse, not very well costumed or designed. Now, that is the Days of Future Past movie. These two movies were Sony movies, not Marvel Studio. They certainly stepped up to the mark. Now, the next films I'd like to mention is the 3 Spider-Man film. There's a rebooted Spider-Man with an even younger character, perhaps even a younger actor than Tobey Maguire was in the original Spider-Man movies. Yeah. Spider-Man Homecoming, in which the web slinger swings into action. And he's friendly with Iron Man and being considered for the Avengers, but he's too young. Pretty close to some of the comic book stories in which Spider-Man tries to join the Avengers and the Fantastic Four and fails. And then there are 2 more Spider-Man movies, Far From Home and No Way Home, but I'll mention them later because they occur after a significant event in the Marvel Universe. But I'll come to that later as well in this video. Spider-Man movies are even more colourful than the Tobey Maguire ones, and Tom Holland is great as Spider-Man. And there's the romance between him and MJ. The romance between Spider-Man and MJ reminds me very strongly of my own relationship with my wife when we met and were dating, and there were problems and problems among family members, and our friends with their little problems, and a general joy in life, of course, and the romance and so on. But anyway, it's the stories are very well written and acted, of course. Great actors. Right. Excuse me. And the next movie on my list is Doctor Strange. The first Doctor Strange movie. Involving the origin of Doctor Strange and his adventures defending the Earth. Spectacular sorcery movie with me being Doctor Strange. His origin story, the surgeon who seeks help and healing in the East, then using the Time Stone to defeat the dread Dormammu in the Dark Dimension. He creates a time loop to confound the demon who threatens the world. Outstanding cinematography. Have I got that right? Great shooting, pictures, colours, CGI. Great adventure story. And the next one is, of course, Doctor Strange was changed. Was going to end up being in the Avengers or fighting alongside the Avengers. And this other character who was one of the earliest sort of Avengers, Black Widow, spends some time on her origins, then there are some later events after she'd been an Avenger. A late addition to the canon. Black Widow in her own film, which should have been made much earlier, of course. high drama, super action in a spy thriller. It's written and performed like a spy thriller, involving her entire super family, My Girl Next Door and her adventures. The family background and relationships are real enough, Black Widow and recognisable, and her parents and her sister. Ray Winston, the actor, puts in an appearance as the supervillain, a Fleming-esque character. Fleming-esque meaning he's like Goldfinger and Ernst Stavro Blofeld in the James Bond stories. Of course, the Black Widow and the two Spider-Man films, the Spider-Man 2 and 3 films, concern events mostly, which happen after the main MCU story, which I'll get to later. And there's the Black Widow film, Scarlett Johansson. Action-packed, edge-of-seat thriller with lots of action. I said action-packed, so of course there's lots of action. Right. I've got another two movies to mention before I come to the final one of this video. I will complete the Marvel listing on a further video, making the listing 3 parts in all. Now for the two Guardians of the Galaxy films. 1 and 2. Right. Excuse me. Put that down there. Right. These are real breakthroughs in films and key to the continuous story arc in the MCU. They're humorous, comic, and tragic, and action-packed, and yes, I know the characters. Peter Quill, or Star-Lord, as he's amusingly called, is a mechanic at a local garage who always has his radio on, for example. As for Rocket Raccoon, he's our dog. Just as human as our dog, even. The films contain more information about the Infinity Stones than ever before in the other films. And Thanos is revealed in all his egotistical glory, and he even has a family, a criminal family with fractured hatred and resentment among them, but a family nevertheless. He's a fast-paced action thrillers, and they're a lot of fun to watch. The next movie in this part 2 is the penultimate story, The Infinity War epic saga, in which all the heroic characters previously established play their parts in the fight against Thanos, who seeks to retrieve the 6 Infinity Stones that will give him absolute power. If you've not seen the movie, you may want to close your ears for fear of spoilers. But no, the most significant event in the entire MCU history won't be told by me at the moment. But I'll have to mention it in the next video, part 3. So the next video will be part 3 of my best of Marvel movies. I hope I'll see you again. This is Sherwin Green saying good night.